did you see there on defensively on their the Portland's game-winning attempt there from Bilal?
I mean, it was good defense. I mean, they executed what's looked like the same play prior and got an easy two. And I thought he did a really good job of extending the catch. We talked about not fouling in that situation. Showed pretty good discipline, of course not to foul. Help came to make a play at the rim, and they came up short. Obviously the time ran out, but it was pretty good defense.
What did you see from your team there in that fourth quarter, being outscored by 12 points there?
I'll give Portland credit. Obviously Simon's got going, and we've seen him. He's very capable of doing that. But I thought we showed some resilience. Outside of the defensive rebounding, which we knew was going to be a bit of an issue. I think 10 for 12 in that quarter. I thought we did some good things. We showed a little bit of mental and physical fortitude to make enough plays to win the game. And that's why I told the guys it's okay to win ugly. It's not always going to be clean and easy. So that's growth for us. We've had some close games that got away from us, but of course it's great to come away with a win regardless of how you get it.
Wes, we asked you about Tyus pregame, but when did you notice him kind of turn a corner? These past couple of games have been good, but was it right before, I feel like around the Indiana game when he had that really nice?
I think it was a stretch before that, and wasn't shooting the ball great, but he was still doing a lot of the positives. Of course, moving the ball and making plays. But I think it was a handful of games prior that you really started to see him settle in and take more reins and ownership of the group and organizing offense. And of course, since the Indiana game, it's almost elite.
Gaff obviously fouled out late there, but did good work early. What did you see from him?
He was tremendous. I know it's a lot, and people will say, well, because he's the 5, he owns the lion's share of those offensive rebounds, but he's making plays and blocking shots. Required to bring help to the ball, which opens up the backside, so our smalls have to do a better job of helping him. But I thought he did a really good job, just showing a level of physicality, being a rim protector. And of course the offensive rebounds, the putbacks, finishes. Those are bonus points.
Wes, what did you see from Kuz tonight?
I thought Kuz was very efficient. I think he played with a level of force, but also with purpose. And he's done that. The last 2 weeks, he's had a stretch of games where he's been really, really deliberate, and I think that's been great for him. The early kick-aheads, transition opportunities early in the game. He, along with others, but he's the guy who's been doing that for us all season. And then late game, being able to make plays. Came up big, a couple of offensive possessions, but then even off the free throw, getting the second chance points and getting back to the line.
How do you describe this win after Phoenix was good, Sacramento had really solid stretches, and finally just being able to kind of break through a little bit?
Yeah, no, I think it's, like I said, it's growth. I mean, they're not always going to be, ideal, but, a win's a win, and we can still extract lessons and teaching things that we can, lean in on going forward, but those lessons are a little easier to stomach when you get a W.
What was your opinion about the flopping violation that was whistled on Jordan, particularly?
I can disagree with it. I'd have to go back and watch it, to see. Those calls are tough because they happen in the moment. They're not reviewable, so it makes it, a little bit difficult.
Pretty much just the effort side of it, making sure I talk and making sure I get guys in the right spot. We game plan to send everybody weak tonight, send everybody to the weak hands, send everybody left on screens and stuff. So just kind of sticking to the game plan was one of the main things that I focused on. It just helped me be in the right position, be in the right spot at the right time at most of the plays down the floor.
You guys had good stretches against Sacramento. You played well in Phoenix and Indiana. Describe the feeling to kind of finally break through and get one here.
It feels good because now we can figure this out and we can kind of grow off this, throughout the rest of the season. We can figure out ways to kind of build off this. We have a foundation now through the Phoenix game. We had a foundation there. We kind of showed spurts of where we can be. We just have to finish quarters. That's the main thing. They had pushed and they had came out with a lot more aggressiveness throughout the game going into the fourth quarter, and that's something that we have to learn how to withstand at the end of the day. And we showed that we can do that tonight, but at the end of the day, we just have to kind of force ourselves to be ready for that.
Daniel, how do you describe, this is kind of a weird game, how do you describe it? What was this like to play in?
I mean, It was just a game of runs, pretty much. You know, we had energy, they got the crowd into it late, and then we just kind of like withstood that last punch that they threw. So at the end of the day, we just came out and we handled business.
How key was that play where, I'm sorry that I forget what the score was, but you stole the ball from behind and someone was about to cross midcourt? See, you're getting,
Sorry about that.
You're getting calls about it right now.
You know, just being able to actually finally succeed in one of those steals, that was something that, you know, I'm proud of myself about, because I just went for it, and at the end of the day, Kozz was right there in the right spot at the right time, and we came down and we made a big play out of that, and it was kind of like a momentum changer too, because they came out and they were aggressive, and seeing something like that fall for us is something that, you know, kind of gives us the juice that we need to just go out and just keep playing ball.
What did you see from Bilal in that final possession of offense?
I seen that he stayed poised. It was a rough night with him and a couple of foul calls that he had, and he just stayed locked in for sure. You know, it's a lot of times where we get frustrated and we like put ourselves in a position to where it's like we let the refs take over the game for us. But a lot of people stayed poised tonight. There was a lot of frustration out there still, but once we took like that 1-2 punch from Portland and the refs at the same time, we fully locked in and we fully took care of business.
What have you seen from Tyus lately? A couple of really big games for him recently.
Being a facilitator, leading the floor, leading the pack, communicating, getting us into the offense that we need to be in, and kind of like reading the stuff that the defense is giving us at the end of the day, you know, and just getting downhill, making plays.
Wes said he felt like he'd seen your turnaround a couple games before the Indiana game, and when you had that, obviously, your triple-double. What do you feel like, if anything, kind of clicked into place? Is that how you would describe it?
I just think just getting more familiar, more comfortable, and just trying to continue to build. Trying not to look into it too much, but just stacking games, trusting in it, trusting in the process, continuing to learn the system, continue to learn my teammates, and just staying confident with things, knowing we're still 26, 7 games in, so just continue to try to improve. Know that that's a long season. Know that in the big picture it's still early here, but definitely feeling more confident. Feeling more comfortable. So just trying to take advantage of that.
Sorry if this is a dumb question. Why are you trying to not think about it too much?
Because the more, you know, for me, as a point guard, the more second nature things are, the quicker you're getting the stuff on the court, the quicker you're making calls, and things like that. So obviously it's not literally not thinking about it, but it's the thinking becoming just second nature, trying to know the system like the back of your hand, knowing where guys need to be, everybody on the court, continuing to figure out, you know, my guys' games, where they like the ball, what plays they, you know, can get them going, and things like that, and continue to try to set the tone, you know, on offense and defense. So can just continue trying to build both ends of the floor. But yeah, so that's somewhat of an answer for you.
A lot of critical plays down the stretch, but what did you think of Bilal's defense on the
Big time. I told somebody out there, it was like, that sums up the NBA for you right there. It's like a game that not necessarily going his way, foul trouble, didn't get a great whistle tonight, and that happens. Just found himself kind of in the wrong spot at the wrong times for a number of those plays, but when it came down to it, he trusted in his habits, trusted in himself, and got a stop when it counted, and that's all that matters. Flushed the first 47-50 of the game in the last possession, sit down, get a stop, forget what had been going on, and that's huge for him. And we trusted in him and believed in him and getting that stop, and you know, we'd put him in that position 10 out of 10 times.
As a vet, you know, a night where Bilal's not having his best night, is there anything that you're saying to him to keep his head up, or is there anything that you're
just talking to him, staying with it. Again, there's going to be nights like that, but it happens. And again, that's why you have to stay in it, because you never know what position you're going to be in down the stretch. If he checks out in the first half when he got his third foul and he had to sit, you know, who knows what happens at the end of the game. So just sticking with him, trying to continue to talk to him. He's still learning. Obviously, it's early on, but he wants to continue to get better. He wants to learn. And so, again, we had all the confidence in the world in him to end that game that he was going to get a stop.